like to introduce Professor Yoshikawa for that from medicine to free radical research. So please.
Thank you, Professor Inoue. I will talk on the free radical research. And in the morning, 2 or 3 people said that the reactive oxygen species is very important for control of the health aging. And you know, we need oxygen because the oxygen is important to get the energy. However, the oxygen is sometimes be toxic. And why this oxygen to become the toxic? And you will know the reactive oxygen species is very important to control or regulate the lifespan. And reactive oxygen species is defined as any compound derived from excitation and reduction of molecular oxygen. And free radical is a key word why the reactive oxygen species is too toxic. Because the reactive oxygen species is a free radical. A free radical is any species that contain 1 or more unpaired electron. And unpaired electron is a problem. And when A molecule and B molecule are 2 atoms covalently bounded, the electron homolytic fission can be written as A, B, and to change the A radical to B radicals. It's unpaired electron molecule. It's well known that the water, H2O, when radiation to enhance the water become to hydrogen radical and hydroxy radicals. And this is due to the effect of anti-tumor effect of the X radiation, and very toxic one. And oxidation and reaction, we will explain this word. Oxidation is loss of electron by an atom or molecule. And reduction is gain to electron. And I will explain, usually using this slide, that with free radical is the have the molecular unpaired electron. And this is the target molecule. It's the stable molecule. When free radicals appear near this target, pull out the 1 oxygen to stabilize myself. So this pull out the oxygen is named oxygen. And this molecule oxidized, loss of electron. And there are many, many free radicals in the atmosphere, especially nitric oxide or alkoxy radical is very important in the membrane. However, this reactive oxygen loss is defined only 4 molecules. And 2 of them is free radicals. It have the unpaired electron, superoxide radical and hydroxy radical. However, this singlet oxygen and hydrogen peroxide is not the free radical because it's the stable one. But when UV radiation or ion convert to this hydroxy radical or oxygen radical from this single oxygen or hydrogen peroxide, and so it's very toxic, also toxic, some additional conditions. And so these are the free radicals and reactive oxygen species is almost the same category. And in the environmental pollution, there are many, many, many kind of free radicals it's containing. And also in the smoking, in the gas phase and tar phase, also included the free radicals, very toxic. And UV radiation, it's like here, Phuket, but very toxic, and so be careful when you go to the abroad. And free radicals are inevitable because the smoking or emission, alcohol or stress or so on. And so this is the inevitable, and so we should control these oxygen-derived free radicals. And I first do the experiment as the oxygen-derived free radicals, where come from. And I found that the oxygen-derived free radicals are induced by ischemia and reperfusion. And in animal models, we detect the free radicals toxicity. You can see clamping the gastric mucosal celiac artery. We can use the gastric mucosal injury. And when we injected we clamped the celiac artery and for 30 minutes. After that, we release the clamping. And only the ischemia status, the toxicity is the a little bit appeared, damage, injured is a little bit damaged, but the after repair, clamping, relapse clamping and the perfusion injury was more than the ischemia alone. And so ischemia reperfusion is very, very important to the sources of oxygen radicals. And the other sources is neutrophil or endothelial cells, and it's the enzymatic reaction. NADPH oxidase is activated by ischemic reperfusion or inflammation, and the antioxidant system is also stimulated by ischemic reperfusion and produce the reactive oxygen species. And in the morning, it was said that the mitochondria is very important. To get the energy, we use the oxygen, and in the electron transport chain, produce the oxygen radicals. And also food and radiation, smoking, or alcohol, so on, many sources is available in our life. However, we have the antioxidant redox systems. And this is the superoxidase is the dismutase, the superoxide to hydrogen peroxide. And hydrogen peroxide can detoxify by the catalase. And the glutathione peroxidase or thyroidexin system also many kind of the enzymatic system we have for the antioxidative effect. And also, we have the non-enzymatic antioxidant, vitamin C or E or carotene or coenzyme Q10 or so on. And natural antioxidant is very important. And after that, I will explain about this. And oxygen consumption is very correlated with the lifespan. The human is like this, and oxygen consumption ratio per body weight is very low, and we can live about 100 years, all because it's related to oxygen consumption. Very low oxygen consumption we are. And also, SOD, superoxide dismutase activities, it's the human. It's a lot of SOD activities we have. And so the other animals is very low. And so how important, we can recognize how important was superoxide or antioxidant enzyme. But the SOD activity, it's enzyme, so it's lower, decreased by the age. It's the problem. And after that, in the young ages, it's very large amount of the SOD we have. However, on older ages, it decreased. And also, we have the thyroidetoxin systems. It's an antioxidant system. And thyroidetoxin transgenic mice, the survival rate is increased. And it's antioxidant depending on cellular redox states. And so we can say this kind of the antioxidant system is very important. And we have the many species. In many species, we have a lot of this kind of the antioxidant enzyme systems. And in the insulin receptor or growth hormone receptor insulin is very important. And age associated accumulation can be found by detecting the hydroxydeoxyguanosine. It's the specific marker for oxidative DNA damage, and very useful for evaluating the rate of the oxidative stress. And this hydroxydeoxyguanosine levels is very high in the brain of the older animals. And also, this distribution, with higher levels of hydroxydeoxyguanosine is in the brain. And so oxidative stress is very important to the brain systems. And also, we can detect those lipid peroxide modified proteins. It is a useful marker of the oxidative stress. It's the hydroxy non-ethanol for the lipid peroxidation. It's increasing from the protein, and this H-hydroxy non-ethanol is increasing in this protein, and so we can detect this using the antibody. And it's the monkey's skeletal muscle. And the 4 years old one is the compared with the 4 years old monkeys. 26 years old one is very high amount of the HNA is accumulated. And so for the calorie restriction, it's decreased. And it's the correlate with the old year. And so we have a lot of antioxidant systems, scavengers, or exercise, addictive exercise or caloric restriction, or so on, protect the mitochondrial respiration, redox modulations, decrease in GHH systems, and so free radicals. When it was appeared, damaged the lipid to lipid peroxidation, and DNA was damaged, and also protein was the aggregate. And these free radicals protect this one. However, over the expression of free radicals go to the aging and disease. And fight one evil with another. When we can see this is the toxic one, cancer or bacteria, so on. It's these free radicals, very toxic, and it's useful to battle to the another devil. One is the cancer. Cancer is the evil, but free radical also very toxic. We can fight to the cancer and cancer treatment. And against cancer, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. To oxidative stress against cancer cell is my friend. And I do the experiment like this. But 2015, recently, it's published this oxidative stress inhibit distant metastasis by human melanoma cells. In the Nature, editorial person has written that the active oxygen species have been viewed as stress-inducing molecules that promote cancer initiation. However, new evidence indicates that oxidative stress can be beneficial, inhibited the spread of cancer to other site. And so, oxidative stress is bad, but they sometimes be beneficial. In 1994, I found that in the cancer research, we put on this experiment, anti-tumor effects of ischemia repair injury induced by transit embolization. And transit embolization is the ischemia repair fusion and produce the oxygen radicals. And oxygen radical will kill the cancer. This we use the DSM, degradable starch microspheres. It's the starch, and so by the amylase, it is dissolved. Within 25 or 30 minutes, blood flow was decreased, and after that, repair fusion was appeared. And this is the ischemia repair fusion model. And embolize after the ischemic repair fusion, oxygen radical will appear. This is the cancer rate. Tumor growth is strictly or significantly inhibited by the ischemic repair fusion. This effect, anti-tumor effect, is disappeared by the adding of SOD and catalyst antioxidant enzyme. So, free radicals is very good friend to the cancer. And virus or bacteria, also it's a toxic one. And so, we can kill by the free radical. HOCO, hydroxy chloride or H2O2 is useful to kill the bacteria. It is well known. And the enemy of my friend, on the other hand, enemy of my enemy, my friend is my enemy. The oxidative stress to normal cell is my enemy. A lot of target of free radicals, lipid peroxidation membrane is damaged, and nucleic acid to chain damaged, and it becomes the mutation or strand session or amino acid, it's degradation. Well, many important biofactors or target was damaged by the free radicals. And free radical change to normal cell to cancer. X-ray irradiation or UV radiation, it induces the cancer. It is well known. And free radicals also, so it's very toxic to DNA damage, induce DNA damage to calcium and NO activation or oxidative LDL to induce the atherosclerosis or inflammation. Many disorders, free radicals play a role. And so, this preparation by antioxidant is important. And antioxidant, we have a lot of antioxidant systems. I explained before slide as the SOD or catalase so on, and non-enzymatic enzymes. And the co-worker, chairman of Professor Inufusa, developed very strong antioxidant 20X. He will explain about the 20X, and so I will just tell you about that. It's the 20X, and so it's a glucose tolerance test. Using 20X is lower the blood sugar level. And so it is a very strong antioxidant system. By using the DROM test, in the serum, we can check the radical formation. That it protected, inhibited, and so body hydrogen peroxide level is decreased. And also, if it's 20X, stress decreased in mitochondria or in the cell, so on. This will be explained by the Professor Inufusa. And it's the effect. And also, recently, he found that using the questionnaire result as the doing the X is very good for the asthma attacks. And recently, Koji Abe found that the clinical benefit of antioxidant supplement 20X for mild congenital impairment, MIC, for the Alzheimer's disease. It's a very good supplement for prevention. And evidence-based supplement is many supplement was now we can use. And so oxygen is toxic. However, but we need oxygen because we should live in the this atmosphere, and so we need oxygen. And so to keep a healthy life, we need oxidative stress environment and condition, and also dietary antioxidant and phytochemicals we should take. And so, in conclusion, free radicals is good, almost the circumstances, but a little toxic. And so we should regulate the oxidative stress. It is important to live longer and to live healthy. And so we should still do my experiment that how to regulate the oxidative stress to prevent the disease or against aging. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much.